Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Juan Carlos Lopez. I am the Director of Teaching and Learning for the Maple League of Universities. I am coming to you from Mi'kma'ki, the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I say these words as my commitment to listening and listening and listening. And a very dear colleague of mine says, once you are done listening, go back and listen and listen and listen again. And I want to listen because I want to learn about the truth of what has happened, the truth of what still happens in these lands. And then with that learning, I would like to move towards indigenization and decolonization, following the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. I would also like to acknowledge that these lands I'm coming to you from have received people of African descent in several ways. The record goes more than 400 years, but even that recorded record is very interesting in itself, because it was a person who came as a translator between the colonizers and the Mi'kmaq. So that in itself is interesting, because there must have been some contact somehow, that allowed the person to be the translator, and there is something about that. But in any case, I do that in the same spirit of listening and learning and moving towards a better future for everyone. And I do that as an immigrant and a settler in these lands. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Today we have my very dear friend and colleague, Henner Llanes-Ortiz. Henner is a Maya scholar born in Yucatan, Mexico. He has had academic and professional career that often transcends disciplinary boundaries within social sciences. His approach has always been rooted in an indigenous critical and collaborative practice. He holds a PhD in social anthropology from University of Sussex in United Kingdom, and he has worked in various departments at universities in Mexico, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and now in Canada, including development studies, performance studies, linguistics, archaeology, and sociology. Currently, he holds a position of associate professor and Canada Research Chair in Digital Indigeneities at Bishop's University, which is, one of our Maple League schools. Now, I would also like to add that I met Henner through the Maple League of Universities, and we have traveled together several times with students from across the Maple League to a Belize Field School program that went to Belize 3 years with funding from SGO. And in there we were able to interact and very intensely interact and work together. And I have seen actually Henner in action on as a professional, talking about his research and his work, but also as a very strong advocate for students' success. I have seen Henner advocate, support, and encourage students to be their to grow and be in our schools. So I am needless to say, Henner is not only a very esteemed colleague, but a very, very, very close friend. So I'm really happy to have you here today, Henner. Bienvenido. So I practiced this and I forgot, Henner. So Malop King, take it away, my friend.
Hachtius Botik, Juan Carlos, Vishanikesh, Kintushikesh no Chkimakolal, Tianen Belai tu Yuchben Lumil, Le Abenaki Makobo, Letiobe, tu Masewalka, Esh Leka Hotush Quintal, tu Noclumil, México. Hello everyone. I send you a big greeting, and I'm greeting you from the land, the ancestral territory of the Abenaki people, who is who are the custodians, the traditional stewards of the lands that we now inhabit here at Bishop's University. And who are indigenous as I am, I also belong to an indigenous nation or indigenous people from Mexico, the country called Mexico. Thank you, Juan Carlos, for that warmth and that appreciation that you've shown for the time that we spent together, and yeah, I also treasure on all the adventures that we have lived through, and the happiness that we have experienced, in seeing students that have come into the same spaces that we have had the privilege of facilitating, grow and to become, wiser and more skillful in interaction, in finding themselves in unusual contexts. As I said, I'm greeting you today from the land of the Abenaki, who have welcomed me and to whom I'm privileged to learn and call my relatives, as well as the Ganiengehaga, whose territory is not necessarily here, in the same lands that we inhabit, but who are present and who have been also great relatives and welcoming here. I've had the privilege of also knowing and working together with Inuit and members of other First Nations, and as a Maya person, I am constantly striving to be a good Indigenous guest in Indigenous lands, and my learning is in no way complete, as you know, it could never be. But it's constant, as Juan Carlos was saying, constant listening and constant learning, and also sharing and experiencing together, which is what this the new age of reconciliation demands from all of us. Um, Okay, so today I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about my research, that about this strange concept that I use in my research, which is called digital indigeneities, and I hope that we can have this is a general vision, and of course I'm gonna try to go into some detail at different points during my talk, and at the end I hope that if you have questions, we can talk about them, and I can give you a few responses related to this. First, I would like to acknowledge that the term digital indigeneity is not mine, even though I use it. But it was actually first coined for a conference that took place at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign in the United States. So that notion at the time was trying to make sense of the transitional media that a lot of indigenous people in different parts of North America, the US and Canada, but also Oceania and particularly in Aotearoa, New Zealand, were experimenting with. Many of these many of these new media took the form of, among others, video art, video games, ebooks, e-magazines, e-comic books, and among many others. And important people like writer La Pensée, among others, were part of that conference that took place in the state of Illinois already 12 years ago. And in my case, in the case of my research, I often use this term as an umbrella notion to describe the various and creative ways in which indigenous peoples in the world integrate and retool digital technologies into their own activism. They use them as tools, as instruments to support their cultural resurgence. And in discussions of digital media or digital technologies as they relate to indigenous people, for many years, and I would say also in popular circles, people who still hold on to old-fashioned stereotypes about indigenous peoples and communities. There was always that a framing of digital technologies as something that will be, in many ways, completely antithetical to the cultures that they imagine indigenous peoples have. This is both true for non-indigenous people as well as members of some indigenous communities, not necessarily the vast majority, but there's always, that necessity of as in many moments in the history of indigenous peoples, to first stop for a second and consider the technologies and the tools that are put at the foot of many of us before we can actually move on and embrace them or integrate them into our ways of life. But this is in no way, so here, what I want to explore is a few points of view that actually speak of a certain kinship or familiarity between what we generally see as, the main characteristics of digital technologies and those of indigenous ways of knowing. And first, it is important to recognize and to actually take stock of the fact that indigenous peoples in the world are very diverse, and there are, communities that have retained a relationship with the territory, as well as communities that are constantly incorporating new ways of being and approach their territory, being and approaching their territory. And in that process, there's always innovation and dynamism, among other things. Also, it's important to recognize that there are diverse ways in which historically indigenous peoples have, engaged with processes of record keeping and the preservation of memory, and that they are as diverse as the many different fields and disciplines that we associate with science and with Western ways of knowing, and that they are expressed, differently in different parts of the indigenous world. But some of the main characteristics of these indigenous approaches to record keeping and to the processing of information are, in fact, familiar when it comes to digital technologies. For one thing, they are multimodal, and by that I mean that they have different they involve different forms of literacy, where the medium and the modality of that medium is rather integrative. So we have forms of communication or record keeping that are at the same time simultaneous, in that they combine all of these different forms of literacy, numeracy, visual information, and as well as oral performances, among others, and that they are indivisible, right? And these are expressed, traditionally through ceremony, dancing, chanting, but in some instances, especially in the region where I grew up, and that archaeologists and anthropologists often call Mesoamerica, were also written down and were manipulated and handled and used actively as flexible and dynamic forms of record keeping, much in the same way in which we tend to use digital technologies and media these days, right? So this multimodality, as I said, is expressed in the various different ways in which communication took place in these indigenous media. So in the Maya region, as well as in other parts of this cultural area known as Mesoamerica, we had, of course, writing. My ancestors wrote with glyphic characters, but there was also, pictographic representations that relate to phonetic information as well as to numeric information, and that were used in performance through various ways of tactile reading and deployment as well. Further down south, in the Andean region, the use of quipus that were encoded encoded wool threads that would register information that was both mathematical but also historical, and that researchers more and more these days are trying to are actually able to understand. That's also, a very interesting way of encoding information in ways that are not necessarily evident or manifest in a particular way. Finally, there's an argument to be made that in North America, different practices such as quilting and the creation of wampu belts are also forms of encoding, and that they contain the potential of being means to transmit complex and sophisticated information, as it's been demonstrated in several forms of research. Now, when we look at digital media, it would seem that this is a moment in which we could perhaps create a bridge that will facilitate, on the one hand, the preservation of these forms of knowledge, but at the same time, an important development. And that's the perspective that a lot of indigenous practitioners and scholars are taking in their ways of dealing with these technologies. This is, of course, not exclusive of North America or even South America or Mesoamerica, for that matter. This is happening in different corners of the world, and this is happening through the inventiveness and the resourcefulness of indigenous communities. The ways they are dealing with, the very real digital divide is something that should bring. Should draw our attention, and try to also subvert the way we often understand these digital technologies. In the global north, digital technologies are often associated with vast infrastructures. There's a certain status still when we think about digital technologies and digital devices. There's a constant pressure to have the most recent models and the newest releases when it comes to the devices that we use. And in marginalized communities in the global south, those devices and those technologies are constantly being repurposed. So this is an example from the late 2000s. People started noticing that cell phones were actively being used as a tool to facilitate digital literacy and connectivity in the continent of Africa, even as early as the second half of the mid 2000s. And that these, creative use of digital devices and technologies happen inclusive of regions where there was no connection at all, right? So, and how paradoxical that is in many ways, right? So that, members of these communities were reinventing the uses, or, creating new uses for these technologies, and that has led to important moments in their own histories. British ethnomusicologist Christopher Keckley, for instance, found that in the Saharan region, the region that is often imagined as one of the most remote and isolated areas in the world. Tuareg communities who are indigenous to these areas have been for thousands of years. Were using phones in unexpected ways as media storage devices, but also they were using some of the affordances of these technologies, some of the functionalities of these technologies to share music. music that they were creating at the time, music that was modern and traditional in many different ways, and that through the use, the creative, unexpected use of the cell phone, was spreading all over, that region, a region that, is bigger in some ways than the United States and other huge nation states. This creativity, these unexpected uses of technology is something that has intrigued me and has drawn my attention for a few years now. I have had the privilege since at least 2014 of being involved with a network of digital activists in Latin America through a collaboration, a very important collaboration with the organization Global Voices. In 2014, I participated for the first time in what is called an encuentro de activismo digital en lenguas indígenas, or a meeting of digital activism in indigenous languages. And from there, I had the opportunity to work in collaboration and dialogue with this group of indigenous practitioners and researchers from different nations in Mexico, Peru, Colombia, and Bolivia. And together we were able to create, a report that looked for the first time to the various practices that indigenous language speakers were leading in appropriating digital technologies to promote the languages. And that report was called, in Spanish, Apropiarse de las redes para fortalecer la palabra, or to appropriate the networks in order to strengthen the language. And with that, began a process where I have increasingly connected more and more, again, through these networks of activists who have been generous and open, and to whom I owe a great debt of for the generosity, for the knowledge that they have shared with me, but also increasingly connecting with other activists in Africa, Asia, Pacific, as well as other parts of the world. In 2020, I was again invited to collaborate with them in the creation of a toolkit, a more complex document that will, on the one hand, document some of these practices, the many different practices that indigenous people were leading in relation to the languages and digital technologies, as well as to problematize some of the questions, some of the main political and technological questions that they had at that time. And that process led us to, in this process, I collaborated with Eddie Avila, who is the director of the Rising Voices program, which is part of the Global Voices initiative. And we conducted a few surveys in French, Portuguese, Arabic, Russian, Hindi, and Indonesian that allowed us to identify approximately 100 different, very interesting initiatives that in some ways, rather in many ways, helped us to compile and to produce this document. This is a document that combines analysis and systematization, or rather the systematic analysis of a few of these initiatives that in no way represent the totality of the creative ways in which indigenous peoples and communities are engaging with these technologies for the benefit of their languages. You can download this resource, which is freely available from UNESCO's multilingual portal using this QR code. And just briefly to say that the systematic analysis that we conducted in conversation with many of these activists led us to identify 8 key approaches to the use of digital technologies in favor of indigenous languages. And these are facilitating indigenous digital communication, multiplying indigenous language content, normalizing the use of indigenous languages in digital context or through digital technologies, educating or providing indigenous education with the support or with the aid of digital technologies, reclaiming indigenous languages and knowledges with the use of these digital technologies, imagining new ways to expand the repertoire of artistic expression in indigenous languages, defending the rights and the projects that have been set up by indigenous peoples to access technology and to access communication in their own languages. And finally, protecting indigenous language knowledge and communities with the use of digital media and technologies. And these are, all expressed through different examples that you can find in the toolkit. And for the second half of this talk, I will briefly, or rather than going one by one in relation to these key approaches, what I would like to offer is, a general vision and sort of integrate both some of the examples that, are present in this toolkit, as well as the some of the areas that have suddenly become more relevant and, that weren't that present when I was working and, dialoguing with members of this vast community of activists in the world. And that's of course, that of course refers to the so-called artificial intelligence, which only came out, at the end when, around the time when UNESCO actually launched this toolkit. So I'll explore 4 key ideas, and then I hope that we'll have time to hear your question. But before that, let me just, sort of highlight once more the fact that this creativity and this inventiveness, what I call indigenuity, or not just me, but many other indigenous and non-indigenous scholars call indigenuity. And, funnily enough, it resonates with how we often speak in Mexico and other parts of Latin America as forms of indigenería, which, sort of, speak to the how different communities in Latin America are able to solve complex problems with locally created solutions, right? So in that context, where indigenuity and indigenería are constantly thriving, that's a context of deep-seated inequalities and exclusion, right? And these are just 2 morsels of information. In Mexico, a report that was written by an indigenous scholar, Canelos Vargas, in 2021, he found that only less than half of the rural population in Mexico had internet connectivity at the time. And, a similar percentage of people didn't have proper access to cell phone signal, which in some ways excluded them from different forms of participation in the economy and in politics, as well as in civil administration. And in Mexico and other parts of Latin America, the difference or the separation between or the distance, the social and cultural distance between indigenous people and the majority population or the mainstream population in Latin America is not always clear cut. But in this statistic analysis, Canelos Vargas found that the percentage of population that was not connected at all was bigger or was more significant in those states in the country that had the biggest indigenous population as well, right? On the other hand, in Canada, where we often take for granted digital access and connectivity, a study conducted by the Assembly of First Nations, and it was published recently in 2023, found that out of 748 First Nation communities in the country, 61% did not have adequate high-speed internet access, and a smaller number didn't even have standard cellular services. So that's again a reflection of how marginalized indigenous communities are in our region. If we look at the level of circulation of um, communications on the internet, it is very clear that a lot, not just indigenous languages, but a lot of languages are actually in a minority position when we look at the level of circulation. English is the hegemonic language when it comes to internet communications, and followed, at a certain distance by Mandarin and Spanish as well. And so these are the statistics from 2021. I haven't been able to integrate the most recent numbers, but the tendency has just grown, in the level of disproportion. So, some statistics now speak of, 35% or even 38% of internet communications being in English, in the English language. And of course, we see that even after the launching of the most popular platforms that provide, generative artificial intelligence for many different languages, there are many others that are excluded. Some of the devices that we use had, integrated automatic speech recognition, but not for many languages, including some languages that are national languages like Icelandic, Luxembourgish, and so on. So this is just to say that digital exclusion is a matter of great concern, not just for indigenous people, but also for other communities in the world. So when it comes to the practices that are more significant, I mentioned in the abstract that I sent for this talk how indigenous peoples are constantly trying to reclaim those territories, what we call the digital territories, that are in some ways, on the one hand, the territories of digital services offered by companies, private or public. And when it comes to indigenous spaces, there's a lack of interest, and which is significant, and that in some places, especially in Mexico, in other countries in South America, Argentina, Colombia, and also in South Africa, and India, indigenous organizations are taking up on themselves to provide those services that neither the state nor private companies are willing or able to provide to these communities, and they do that through the creation of their own community managed internet and cell phone networks, for communities. This is something that's been happening in Mexico since at least the last part of the 2000s, and has grown in significance and is continued to develop in the country. There's also a lot that especially during the pandemic years, was noticeable spike in the level of, or actually not the level, but the quantity of indigenous language content in social media, which has actually helped, a lot of people reconnect and, bridge between geographic territories and create communities that are able to continue to promote and uphold the languages. And, there's a great deal, of course, this is at the origin of my own research and involvement with networks of digital activists. and it continues to amaze me, and and it's also an area of constant debate and analysis for many of these activists. More explicitly, when it comes to digital and territory, what I've been more and more interested, since the beginning of my work here, is in the active use of digital mapping as a form of visualizing not just content on the internet that is related to indigenous knowledges and languages, but also literally putting knowledge in the map, right? Indigenous digital mapping is a very broad field. I first became engaged or started knowing about this set of practices through the work of the Indigenous Mapping Collective and my friends Steve DeRoy and his wife Rachel Olson. I was trying to remember her name, and I hope that she's watching. I did remember Rachel, and through them, I became aware of this growing and incredibly complex and creative field. Indigenous digital mapping, as I said, insert literally insert the knowledge of elders, and it combines mapping with narrative, art, film, and the reclaiming of place, stories and narratives that are associated with botanical, geographical, physical knowledge. And of course, the presence and contribution of the elders is of great significance. There are many technologies, including some of the commercial platforms that you can use, but questions about data sovereignty are constantly in the minds of indigenous people, and therefore there are other softwares, other platforms that allow for greater control and use of these information mapping technologies for these communities. So one example is of course, here we see the Nunalit .org project, which provides mapping tools, facilitates training, and is a low-cost, open source, and easy to access technology that different communities can actually use. There are other interesting examples. There's constant development in this area through different allied organizations. Terra Stories and Mapeo are examples of that have different interfaces and that make use of different functionalities and affordances, and that are also free, open access, and that indigenous people can use, and they can approach the organizations to request for access and to use that. This, of course, increases the storytelling repertoire. And I'm not going to dwell too long on this aspect, because this is an area for which many of my colleagues, including at Bishops, but also at Mount Allison and Acadia and CNFX, are much more aware than I am. But I see digital mapping as a form of storytelling that, of course, increases the different media that is available to indigenous people. In the toolkit, we report on different forms of collaboration that happen digitally. I mean, there are efforts of crowdsourcing and co-creation of new books for children, materials that are used in educational institutions, among others. This is an example of how even with the most basic of tools, but with a lot of creativity, indigenous language speakers can promote their languages through recovering stories, recreating them with sovereignty in self-representation. The example of this Balinese comic series, that connects young people with stories of their ancestors. lives in paper, but it also lives digitally, and it has been included in videos where knowledge keepers narrate the images that one can see digitally, not necessarily animated, but even when they are static, they communicate a lot to the younger generation. The same is true about the sudden rise of new indigenous language music in Latin America, in North America, and everywhere else, and how indigenous music videos have become a form of storytelling themselves, right? There's a lot of cultural reaffirmation that is not just spoken but also sung, and this is a great moment for indigenous young creators. This is an image of one of my dearest friends, Yasmin Novello, and one of the most famous Maya rappers in the Yucatan Peninsula, Pat Boy. It's there's still a lot to be said about how these indigenous music videos reflect new and old stories, but using a new platform. Perhaps one of the most interesting and the one that creates lively debates is the question of data sovereignty. And of course, indigenous peoples historically have been the object of data extraction and the object of data appropriation and of many different aspects of their lives. Often we are seen as providers of data, but never the owners of this data. And since at least 20 years now, there's been a constant reflection and a demand for the recovery of the sovereignty that we should exercise over our data. So the data sovereignty principles are an affirmation of the right to collect, own, and use data according to our own objectives, right? And this data, as as they refer to communities, peoples, lands, and resources. As I said, there's a lot of data that is often obtained from our communities that never come back. And the demand to maintain that line of communication and control and ownership over everything that is extracted from our communities is at the center of many of these demands. And since data is more and more digital these days, there's a preoccupation and actually different actions and activities and projects that aim to reclaim that right. Um, um, Organizations like the First Nations Information Governance Center in Canada, but also others in Oceania, in the United States, and in Northern Europe even, have been working in the development of principles that will guide how indigenous communities engage with this question, and those are described through the OCAP acronym, which stand for ownership, control, access, and possession. And when it comes to digital media and the ways in which developments in this field are happening through collaboration between research centers and indigenous communities, these two examples are of interest, and they're also included and described in the toolkit. On the one hand is the development of content management systems that are thought of and have been designed with flexibilization and customization according to indigenous protocols in mind. And these are embedded in the technology, not necessarily external to the technology design itself. And this has been used for already a decade, I would say, to make available collections of indigenous heritage to the communities. And in that same process of curating this information, there is a constant awareness about what information is for the public and what information needs to be reserved to the community. And the technology, the management system itself allows for all of these customizations of the administration system. On the other hand, we have also a growing interest on tagging or pointing out to the cultural origin and authorship of lots of information that are often published in open source platforms. Museums generally have possession of indigenous heritage resources that due to their mission, they are often offered to the public, to the general public. And these, whereas there are increasing arguments for the return of these resources, of these artifacts, objects, etc., however you want to call them, there are often agreements between indigenous communities for the preservation of this heritage in museums, agreements to allow these museums to share that information, but there's a growing demand to, being able to identify the cultural origin with certitude, and therefore, and also to signal the level of how extended the information can how extensive the sharing of this information can be, and what are the inherent rights and obligations of people who access this information. And therefore, there's the creation of these traditional knowledge labels that are digital, that become associated with the resources as they become digitized, and that is a growing area of exploration and analysis for indigenous communities. And finally, in this presentation, at least, and as I said, in since we launched the toolkit, there was this explosion in the increasing use of artificial intelligence, that a lot of indigenous organizations and scholars and practitioners had been appropriating as well, for some time, even before the explosion of generative artificial intelligence. They have come to see the use of computation as a cultural material as much as bead and bone. And this is part of a document that was published in 2020. It's called Indigenous Protocol and Artificial Intelligence Position Paper, which you can access. It's a very complex and sophisticated document that makes the case for, rather than developing one artificial intelligence, for the engaging on the design and the development of abundant intelligences. And that is intelligence that are fed with data, with healthy data, that is tailored according to indigenous protocols, that are often summarized with the 4 Rs: respect, reciprocity, relationship, and responsibility. So there's a case to engage with these large language and prediction models with the design in relation to benefits that can be clearly achieved by indigenous peoples, and that will be reflected in the health of their ecosystems. And there are examples already about these applications of these possibilities. Te Hiko Media in Aotearoa, New Zealand, has been able to retaining control over the data, over the linguistic data, has been able to develop AI, automatic speech recognition technology that will serve to increase the learning of Tereo, or the Maori language, and that is, actually also transferable to other Polynesian languages. There's a project that's running in North America that's called First Languages AI Reality, or FLAIR, a project that I've been had the privilege of getting to know through direct a personal relationship with the promoters, Michael and Caroline Ronin Wolf, who are Cheyenne and Yukon First Nations, and who have actually facilitated conversations in Latin America through the participation of interns. There's also applications of AI that could benefit the management of natural resources. So there's the case of the Wild Salmon Center and the Heiltsuk Nations AI monitoring of salmon, of course, that has helped the community promote a better management of that resource according to their own protocols and how they relate with the salmon as a member of their community. And there's the Pole Arctic's AI project that is currently under development in Nunavut. Now, by showing you this, and with this, I'll open the space for some questions. Digital crafts for Indigenous futures are the creative and effective ways in which all of these different communities and their allies are using digital indigeneities as means for cultural resurgence and survivance. So they are adapting and transforming these technologies for their own purposes. And then this showing, as I said, indigenuity and indigeneria, and hence provincializing digital media. And the idea of provincializing for a lot of humanities and social sciences scholars in this call, would probably resonate. It's about rather than following the lead of the metropolis, making provincial, appropriating these designs locally, and then leaving these designs with an imprint that is culturally relevant and localized. Expanding digital media's deliberations and frameworks is also what these digital crafts are doing, by amplifying the conversation about data rights and data sovereignty. And finally, this also calls for a new understanding of the digital divide and literacies. And by this, I mean, if Indigenous communities, with the few resources that they have, but with a great deal of imagination and creativity, are able to transform these technologies, you can imagine, what else they can do, if they found respectful and engaged allies in this task. And that's in fact what I'm trying to facilitate through my project and the collaborations and relationships that I'm trying to develop, both here in Turtle Island, as well as creating a bridge with my home region and community. So this is all for now. I welcome your questions, and thank you, Juan Carlos, for the invitation again.
Thank you very much, Henner. Does anyone have a question? Just raise your hand or unmute and ask a question. We have about 5 minutes, so we could take a few questions. I do have a question that, oh wait, was there a hand? No. Okay, so I do have Sasha, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. Just great presentation. I really like to see what's happening, I guess, as far as how communities are using digital technologies and the access we have to them. I think my only, I guess, thought would be, and this probably at a scope, but I find our communities are like the pendulum has swung too far almost for me, probably not for others, on this cultural preservation, on the language, on the, like, we're very culturalized beings. And it seems like there's a lack of attention to our economic development, our opportunity, our future thinking in the way that technology can enhance our livelihoods. And I guess I mean that in the, for example, I work in a remote community in Labrador in the summer, offering courses, random community, various communities, but one of them is Netawashish. And, the students are very uninterested in school because they go right into mining. They can go right into mining grade 11. So they don't really I'm generalizing, but they don't really care to finish high school. They don't care that much about it because it's a fishing and mining community. But when I'm there, I'm thinking, there's so much development that could be done as far as using digital means. Like I had a neighbor that moved here from Ukraine and he had a full-time job. And so did his wife. He decided he would just rent cars out of his driveway, and he was making 2,000 a week. And he bought 3 old jalopies and fixed them up. So that's just a really small example of how digital technologies can be used to enhance our lives. And I find not all communities, but a lot that I work with don't seem to either be comfortable moving into that, and a lot of us aren't anyway. But I'm just wondering your thoughts on economic development using digital means.
No, thank you. I think that's an important question. In fact, something that Michael and Caroline, my friends at Flair, we just were talking about that the other day. Yes, as you said, there's a lot of interest in the applications of these technologies for cultural resurgence, and but at the same time, there's limitations. So
Yeah.
some of the questions that they've been asking themselves, and I find them actually quite resonant with the realities of I've seen back in the South. Is how do you use digital technological development as a way to also increase the income of communities, make them increase their quality of life, increase their access to different monies, if we can put it that way. It's a question that we need to continue asking. And I think that yeah, at this point, I'll keep reflecting, I guess, and appreciate you pointing out to that question, because I think that my sort of the framework that I've been using is one that kind of recognizes the creativity that indigenous people show in appropriating these technologies in economies of scarcity, and to supply areas of that have historically been denied, right? So when it comes to education, when it comes to representation, when it comes to media, and a sense of self-esteem. So that's where to some extent the first aspects that are visible. But yeah, there's of course the sustainability aspect that we should continue reflecting about. One thing that we can perhaps say is that there's a lot of applications that can be that I'm just discovering that could be effective in increasing the level of control over the territory, which perhaps eventually will translate into a better quality of life. But that's a big if, right? So they're not clear, there are no unilinear connections. But thank you, Sasha.